Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Flex Network. My name is Flex Mike. You can find me on Twitter at FlexMike11. To the side of me, I have the one and only Snowman at AJS Dead Snow on Twitter. What's up, Snow?
What is up, Flex Nation? What is up, Flex Network members? We are live
And for
talking a
the
little football.
Yes, and for the first time ever, below me we have my buddy Ryan at Rhino_425 on Twitter. You can find him there. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, so we're gonna get into a little bit of football talk, but if you are watching this for the first time, we are the Flex Network. Here we talk all sports, everything. And just to kind of lead the conversation off here for a second, I just have to ask, Snow, how is your fantasy team? Are you in the championship? Are you eliminated? What's going on here?
Unfortunately, in my sleeper, with the listeners, with the Flex Nation listeners, I unfortunately am not in the finals. But the good news is I'm not in last place either. So
Ooh,
I unfortunately lost in the 5th place matchup. So that would put me at 6, I would believe, in our listener league.
That last place position most likely belongs to me. I'm not sure.
Actually, no, it does not, my man. You were not in the 9th place matchup this past week.
Okay. We're good then.
Yeah. It was. Let me get up to the teams. It was reach around in the 9th place matchup that lost, or sorry, that won. So, but so that would mean Trash.
Trashman Truther.
Yep, Trashman Truth is the loser of the league.
You know who Trashman Truther is, right?
Do I want to take a guess?
Yeah, go ahead and take a guess.
No, I don't.
It's no one other than our buddy Flex Matt. That's Trashman
Truther. Yeah, he's sitting in last place because championship week in listener league is Heat Sauce taking on Ray King for the title, and then for 3rd place is going to be Sully from Houston and Get Nuclear for 3rd place.
Okay, so Sully is a roster watch, maniacal, just kicking butt in fantasy football, and Get Nuclear is Flex Shane, and
not bad.
Ray King is my buddy here. I know him pretty well, and so yeah, a lot of familiar faces in that. Mm-hmm. Well, let's go here.
Well, one other quick thing, because I got into another league with another buddy, but this was on like the ESPN one, and this was just put together last moment. Like, hey, let's just get a league together quick. It's like, I want to play fantasy football. It's like, okay. So we did the draft and everything. We've gone through the entire season. I have placed number 1 in that, and I consider it the I don't care league because it was thrown together last minute for me, and it was just like, okay, we'll play. I went perfect all the way through, even into all the way through the playoffs, and now I'm in the ship. This for the next 2 weeks. I'm in the ship. In a league I didn't care about that much. And I cared about my sleeper league more than I did the ESPN one. So I'm just having some stupid luck.
Yeah, fantasy football is a monster, dude. It's just crazy. It dominates your life. Ryan, how about you? Where are you at in your fantasy life?
It's no good. I had a first round bye. Went to last week with no Mike Evans, no Chark. I had to play Russell Cage because I was short on wide receivers. Ooh. He did okay. Yeah, it was rough. So I'll be going for 3rd place, but I'm probably not going to get that. And I think my other league, I'm also going for 3rd.
Nice.
It's better than last, though.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
If you ain't, as long as you're not dead last and you're going for that toilet bowl, then you're good. It's all solid.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm in a few leagues. I'm in obviously the Flex Network Listener League, which I'm not doing that well in. Um,
That's
I
nice.
am I'm in two work leagues. One work league I got eliminated last week to a guy who had Lamar Jackson, and I still only lost by 6 points. It was a very close game. Julio Jones kept me in that game. I think I got about 38 points out of Julio Jones, just a monster game last week against San Francisco, especially considering that goal line touchdown that was not a touchdown, but then they said was a touchdown later. So that worked out. And I'm in another league where I mean I pretty much have Chris Godwin in every single league, but I have Chris Godwin. I got Chris Carson and Russell Wilson as my 1-2, and then I have Josh Jacobs and Austin Eckler, and just a pretty good team. And so,
I think Jacob's going to be out next week.
yeah, well, it doesn't
That
matter
hurts me
because
for my third place.
yeah. So I have options there. I have a lot of guys that I could sub in and stuff like that. So I'll be all right. It's just a matter of I need to make sure that I play the right guys. And this is one of those leagues where the playoff game. I'm in the championship now, so this is one of those leagues. This is one of those leagues where the game is actually 2 weeks long. So it's the combined score from 2 weeks.
Same as my ESPN one that I'm in. I literally went into week one of round one and was behind, and I literally made a storming comeback in the second week. So it's gonna, you guys plan accordingly for if you're in a 2 week style playoff format. So you gotta plan accordingly for those moments. So
right. So I'll start with you, Snow. Any shockers for this past week's NFL games? Is there anything that surprised you? Anything that maybe like hyped you up a little bit that you liked from week 15 of the NFL season?
Well, there was two that I'm going to talk about. Number one, we're gonna go to Ninerland and they losing. All I gotta say is, you know what? Thank you, Dirty Bird. You helped your fellow birds out here on this side of the world with that win against the 49ers. So a standing ovation for those Dirty Birds. We need to send the Seahawks need to send those guys a gift basket for keeping our number one seed hopes alive. Literally. That victory.
Well, we're firmly sitting in the number one position right now. The Seahawks are. And a lot of people will be like, "Oh, well, the Saints won, so maybe you're the number two." But we're not the number two, even though we did lose to the Saints head to head. The reason we're not is because of conference record. We have a better conference record than the Saints have right now in this position, and so, so we will we'll get that going. But yeah, we're in the 1 seed. I believe the Saints are in the 2 seed. Yeah, so loved every second of San Francisco losing. That was awesome.
that was just actually no, the 2 seed right now is the Packers are sitting at number 2 in the playoffs. Here's the rundown.
So they have a good conference record also. So I guess that keeps them above the Saints, right? Okay.
Yeah. So now
they definitely should have lost to the Bears the other day. I don't know what they did coming down the field at the end there. It was horrible.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that was just crazy. So here's the rundown for the playoffs for right now for the NFC. You have the Seahawks at 1. Green Bay at 2, so they would get the home field and the first round bye. And wild card weekend is shaping up to be right now. If playoffs started today, it would be the Saints at home against the Vikings, and the boys, our favorite Cowboy Cam boys, would be playing against the 49ers at home. So it'd be the boys at home right now with that ridiculous 7-7 weak NFC East record right there. So right now it's just going to be a very interesting next 2 weeks, but for everyone 3 and above, I would say. Actually, you know what? Make it even number 5 number 3 and above. That's it. Number 4 we don't care about.
Yeah, it's super interesting. All the different things that can happen in the NFC from this point forward is like wild, and so
And
and
there's only 2 teams left that can actually try to get into the playoffs right now in the NFC with the Rams and the Eagles. Eagles are 3 games back for the wild card, and the Rams are 2 games back in the wild card. So they need some luck. They need lucky rabbit's foot or something, blow on some dice and get some luck on their side if they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, so interesting situation this weekend is on Saturday night. I'm not sure what time it is there, but where I'm at, it starts at 7 o'clock. You're going to have the Rams and the 49ers playing each other. If the Rams lose, they're done. They're out. Mm-hmm. If the 49ers lose, which is what I'm hoping for, they will continue just to kind of fall back from us. Yeah, which is great. But I'll say this. That game is going to carry so much weight in the NFC playoff picture because the Eagles being 3 games back in the wild card literally means nothing because that's not even a possibility at this point. They have to win the division if they want to make the playoffs. I mean, that's the only way. That's their only way in. From what I'm hearing around here from local sports radio, Dak Prescott is nursing a injured shoulder that he injured on like either the first or second drive of the game. He ran like a little QB read and just took a pop, and he didn't throw today in practice. He's not expected to throw tomorrow. And so they're hoping that's yeah. So I mean, that thing will have to fall off the bone for him to not, play on Sunday they play on Sunday. Yeah. So Sunday. And so it's a big deal. And, Cowboys kind of blew the Eagles out pretty good the first time they played them. It was like third. I don't remember what the score was. I want to say it was somewhere around 31-14 or 31-10 or something like that. So it was a pretty decisive win for them the first time around. I can
actually tell you the first time that they played, it was 37-10 loss.
Yeah. Yeah, just a blowout. But yeah, so those are some things to watch. But let's go ahead and get to week 15. I'm going to recap a couple of things. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want to talk about week 16.
Well, why don't we get our lovely guest in here in the conversation? What did you like about this past week?
Man, I had some guy come into my work talking about how we were going to lose to the Panthers and the Niners were going to fucking. Oh, my bad. I don't need to be cussing on here. That's my language, though.
This is not family. We are adults here. This is not some PG show.
I don't know. Your mama was on here the other day.
We could swear up and down the coast.
He was telling me that the Niners were going to take back over and this and that. And I was like, Matt Ryan's going to throw it all over you. You better be careful and not sleep on them. So I'm waiting for that guy to come back into my work so I can have a little conversation with him.
Yeah, the Niners slept on him a little bit on that.
Yeah, it's just an interesting situation because the Falcons, regardless of how bad they are, one thing people have to remember is that you can say what you want about Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan still has the tools and the ability to throw the ball all over the place. He still has Julio Jones, who is top 2 or 3 receiver in the NFL on any given Sunday. And so those things can happen to you in a second. And it's not even like, if you look past them or you don't take them seriously, whatever, those things can happen to you and you can look up and then you could say, oh crap, I'm in trouble, and next thing the game was tied 10-10. It was really close leading into the fourth quarter. And then next thing you know, it's, we're fighting to get first downs and, there's challenges that are happening left and right because the game's so tight. You cannot afford to overlook an opponent like that. It's one thing if you're playing like just a historically bad team that's clearly given up, but If you're playing a team that still has plenty of firepower left, then you're in trouble. And so you just have to make sure that, you're handling business and taking care of what you're supposed to take care of. And I believe this game was a game that San Francisco kind of looked past the Falcons a little bit. And then also a game where San Francisco is missing quite a few of their defensive players. I know Sherman was out and he's not expected back until the last week of the regular season, but
Of course.
there's some of all games to come back, he's going to come back and play
against the
Seattle.
team that literally that literally made you the career that you are having right now. And you know what?
So
it's still respect up here for Sherman. We love Sherman up here, so we don't speak ill of him. We love him. It sucks that he went to the Niners, but you know what? Still love him.
Yeah. Okay. So let's run through these games real quick. I'll stop on a couple of them. We kind of touched on a few of them already, but Jets fall to the Ravens 42-21 on Thursday Night Football. Lamar Jackson throws 5 touchdown passes. He's
lights out.
He was just good the whole game. Next game, we got Seahawks over Panthers 30-24. This game was actually kind of out of hand, but then the Seahawks let the Panthers climb back into it. Russell Wilson for 286 and 2 touchdowns. Chris Carson ran for, I believe, 133 yards. Is there anything that stuck out to you in that game specifically, Snow? Because we're Seahawks fans here, so I just wanted to is there anything that was either shocking from that performance or something that you saw that you really liked?
I wouldn't say, nothing was shocking. It's just Seahawks, they'll tend to let the teams back in, every so often on certain games, but it's that fourth quarter mentality where you finish in the fourth. You don't win in the first. You don't win in the second. You don't win in the third. You win in the fourth quarter. And they sealed it up.
I mean, maybe the Ravens win in the first, but
the Ravens are the exception to the rule this year. But again, the Seahawks hold the line and they do not let Carolina crawl, bring this thing back to a tie and essentially give the Panthers a chance to, screw up our playoff hopes. They bend, but they don't break. So again, no shock surprise.
Here's the number one thing that people need to realize, whether you're a Seahawks fan or you're getting ready to play Seattle in the postseason or something like that. This is one thing you need to realize. Ever since the 49ers game when Seattle beat the 49ers in overtime, Tyler Lockett has not been the same. He hurt his leg at the end of that game, came back and played the next week. Probably shouldn't have played, was not effective, did not look good. Following week, had some flu issues. The flu's been kind of running wild through the NFL locker rooms this whole season over the last month or so, I'd say. But this was the game where Tyler Lockett returned back to like form, like what Tyler Lockett is. He had 8 catches for 120 yards and a touchdown, and really almost had another touchdown. I think Russell just missed him a little bit. So that is something to remember. And if you're a Seahawks fan, you should be really encouraged by that because you see it, with Tyler Lockett out there, things are a lot different. DK opens up. You saw Jerron Brown getting in on the action, and
that big catch from Josh Gordon.
Yeah, we lost Josh Gordon because of the weed and everything else, but
that player enhancement drug act. That's again, he should know better by now. He's on a short leash. Actually, he's got no wiggle room. If I remember correctly, what NFL Live was saying today, that he has no wiggle room at all. He has to walk the straight and narrow. He cannot be doing this stupid stuff. And granted, the Seahawks are going to stick by him and, support him. And that just shows our character right there of, we're going to stick with our man, whatever happens. But he needs to stick to the line. He can't falter.
They need to change the rules, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, like Major League
Yeah.
Baseball is
It's
giving up on
ridiculous.
Major League Baseball is giving up on the whole weed thing. Like, dude,
Now,
more and more,
over the
yeah,
winter break,
yeah,
over the winter conferences.
more and more states are starting to legalize and stuff like that. And so, like, but this was much more than that, because the report was that Josh Gordon was busted for performance enhancing drugs and for violating the substance abuse policy, which tells you that he
It's something
was
serious.
smoking weed / drinking, whatever it is, whatever the substance abuse policy is. And then on top of that, performance enhancing, which could have been HGH, it could have been steroids, it could have been
Something
anything that
something that he
that's
didn't
on that
know.
banned list. Anything
Mhm.
that's on that banned list, he popped for. And we
Yeah.
also don't know if that happened here in Seattle or if that happened while he was still with New England. And we're just now getting the you know,
Ugh. I
yeah,
don't
you just
know. I
don't know.
mean, we're this close to the end of the season, and you would have thought that, you know, if this was while he was down in New England, it would have been handled there. But now that he's with the Seahawks and he's been doing good and everything, and then they throw it at him with 2 weeks left in the season, in the regular season, that seems like it's more like a recent thing than something that happened when he was in New
Well,
England.
but that's the thing. The NFL moves so slow in these things, right? So, Jaron Reed just got suspended at the beginning of this season for something that happened when he was in college, right? So,
Yeah.
Jaron Reed got suspended for some domestic stuff for 6 weeks, and he's almost through this is the last year of his rookie deal. So, what does that tell you? That tells you they've been waiting 3 years to collect enough information about this to handle this the way they wanted to handle it, and it is what it is at this point. But
Yeah.
so the Seahawks lose Josh Gordon, whatever. I mean, we can't really sit here and complain about it because it is what it is at this point. And so so Seattle wins that game. We move on. Patriots beat the Bengals 34-13. That game was actually super close for quite a while, and then the Patriots pulled away in the second half. Next we go Buccaneers 38, Lions 17. Jameis Winston becomes the first player in NFL history to throw for 450 yards in consecutive games.
They're the
And
most inconsistent team. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
7-7. They should be a little bit better.
Yeah, they really should.
And Winston, he has 30 passes for touchdowns this season, a single season Tampa Bay record
Yeah, I'm sure he has like 29 touchdowns or 29
for the
interceptions.
season. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Dude throws a ton of picks. Okay, next we
Starting
go.
to become the Eli Manning of, the new Eli Manning there.
No, because Eli Manning just makes throws that like that
But he
his
gets
arm.
picked.
Yeah, Jameis Winston just is not a good decision maker. That's his big problem. Eli Manning is somewhat of a good decision maker, but he
Bad
just
luck.
I feel like he has a bad luck a lot of times. So the next game, Packers 21, Bears 13. Bears lose on their final possession going into the end zone trying to tie it up. I think the play ended and they were on like the 5-yard line or something crazy like that.
And there was so much room for a lateral on that. There was so much room for anything.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
Tariq Cohen was visibly upset when the dude got tackled because he thought that he should have pitched the ball back, whatever. But anytime you're in that kind of like Hail Mary or like
The schoolyard, toss it behind you, kind of the style. It's like you gotta, it's a risk and reward thing. It's like, I mean, granted, the backwards passes don't work a lot of the time, but you get the rare occurrence that maybe something will happen. But in the NFL, not a whole lot.
The Bears can say whatever they want, but here's the problem. The problem was Mitch Trubisky was 29 for 53 on passing attempts, right?
Oh.
That's not good. 334 yards, pretty good, and only 1 touchdown. That's a problem, right?
Yeah.
And then they let Aaron Jones get into the end zone twice. Like, it is what it is at this point. They drop that game. They fall to 7-7.
And the Packers clinch a playoff berth with that win.
Yeah, and I think if they win this weekend, they lock up the division. Maybe this weekend or next weekend, can't remember. Next game we go Texans take it over the Titans 24-21. Tannehill just is continuing to prove that he's not a bad quarterback. You know, he's looked pretty good since joining the Titans. He goes for 279 and 2 touchdowns last week. DeAndre Hopkins goes 6 catches, 119 yards. Then the next game we go into the snow. Chiefs beat the Broncos 23-3. That game was pretty much over the whole time. Wasn't really close. Pat Mahomes goes for 340 yards and 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce goes 11 catches, 142 yards.
Yep. Chiefs, this will be the 5th consecutive, it's a franchise record, 5th consecutive season with 10 plus wins with this victory over the Broncos.
Yeah. So let's see. Next we go. The Giants beat the Dolphins 36-20. Dolphins are now 3-11, and the Giants are also 3-11, so they're both pretty terrible.
Mhm.
Eli Manning gets a standing ovation as he walks off the field. He goes for 20 for 28, 283 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is the most Eli Manning stat line I've ever read in my life.
That was
But
good.
yeah, I mean that's just like a typical Sunday for Eli. Rely on the run game and then pass the ball efficiently. Saquon goes for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I mean, he's just everything you need in that game. The Eagles pulled out over the Redskins 37-27. They had a pretty slow start, but then they woke up. They scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. Carson Wentz goes 30 for 43, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. They win. They're just, getting ready for that matchup this Sunday against the Cowboys. Jags over the Raiders 20-16. Minshew.
I can't say boo
Minshew.
because it was a bad, I can't say anything bad about that because it's Raiders versus Minshew. I can't say anything bad.
Right. So Minshew throws 2 touchdown passes to Chris Conley in the final 5 minutes and 15 seconds of the game. They hand the Raiders a loss on
the final loss in the Coliseum.
Right.
As they will be leaving Oakland after this season and heading to Sin City in Vegas.
Yeah.
Next year.
So
wow, surreal.
Yeah. Next, you have the Cardinals 38-24 over the Browns. And if you're looking at the Browns right now, you got to say, dude, they are just awful. The coach is awful.
It's a shit show.
Dude, they got so much potential and offense and everything else, and they're just terrible.
It's the key word is all hype.
Yeah.
All flash, no go. That's why they're 6-8, and they're not even gonna have a chance at the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm on the record on this podcast this year of saying if the Browns didn't make the playoffs, that it was a disappointing season. And now obviously they're not making the playoffs, so it's a disappointing season.
Granted, they are 6 back in the division in the North, and they're 2 games back in the wild card right now. But but they're also tied for the with 2 games back in the wild card with the Raiders. And Tennessee is ahead of them with 0 games back from the wild card, but they're 1 game back in the division in the South. So there's still 3 teams left over there in the AFC. As we again, if the playoffs started right now, it'd be Baltimore and Pats 1-2 with the home field advantage and the first round bye, and then wild card weekend it would be KC and the Steelers. And then Houston Texans and the shocking team of that's making the playoffs again.
Pittsburgh?
Bills Mafia is the Buffalo Bills are back in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's a shock.
Yeah, well, they've been pretty good all season. But
10-4, that I will give them that. That is respectable, for the Buffalo Bills, who of course we all know 4 straight Super Bowl losses.
Yeah.
The biggest, literally that's their whole spiel for them is, oh, Buffalo Bills, yeah, they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Hey, Snow, you know what the word Bills stands for? It's an acronym. You know what Bills stands for?
What?
Boy, I love losing Super Bowls.
Oh, we could toss around Bill jokes all
Yeah.
around. So
Okay, let me get through
continuing through week
yeah.
15.
So Vikings beat the Chargers 39-10. Philip Rivers is awful. Dalvin Cook
Oh,
checks out of that game pretty early, which
this
was
was a
pretty
bad.
much how I won my fantasy game because Dalvin Cook was out of there.
This was a bad game for the Chargers as they had 7 giveaways, the most since week 15 of 1998.
And you know
Oof.
what else? You know, Philip Rivers has 11 interceptions in the last 5 games. He is horrendous. He's so bad right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Rolling over rivers.
Anyway, so Cowboys beat the Rams 44-21. Just that 21 is very fabricated because the Cowboys dominated from the get-go. They scored first, the Rams scored second, and then it was pretty much the Cowboys the rest of the way through.
Mhm.
The other 14 points were in garbage time. Like, it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
We touched on the Falcons beating the 49ers 29-22 on a last-second touchdown to Julio Jones. That was on replay review. And so, yeah. And then the Bills beat the Steelers 17-10. And then Monday Night Football, we had the Saints over the Colts 34-7. That game.
And an ass whooping.
Yeah, Drew Brees set the NFL record for, what was it, most touchdown passes or
most. He has the most career. He has a career passing touchdown most in NFL history at 541, and it's still growing.
Phew.
Yeah. So another record that can be set this week for the Saints is if Michael Thomas gets 10 receptions, he will break the NFL single season record for most receptions in a season previously set by Marvin Harrison. So he's there.
All right.
Michael Thomas is the truth. But let's get into week 16. Week 16 here. We're gonna start making our picks.
This is pressure time for everyone. You know, you got to make that last push right there to get into playoffs. So this is make or break time for you, everybody.
Yeah.
So let's start making some picks here.
Okay, so first game we got 3 games on Saturday this week. They're getting ready. And so in the morning it's going to be 74 degrees in Tampa Bay, Florida. We got the
home of
WrestleMania
WrestleMania this year. Might I add, the home of WrestleMania this year.
We got the Texans taking on the Bucks. Let's see here. We got Houston is favored by 3 over under 49.5. Ryan, you're up first. Who do you got in this one?
Oh man, I think the Bucks are going to take it. Like,
waving the sword.
I said they're really inconsistent earlier, but I don't know. Houston's pretty inconsistent too, so I think it'll be like high scoring, like 37-34. Something weird.
Yeah, okay. I'm right there with you. I'm gonna go Bucks on this one just because
we're getting some pirate swords up in here and waving that flag.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks just because I feel like the Texans at times have a really good defense, but like Ryan said, they're just extremely inconsistent, and I'm down for a shootout here, 40-37, 37-34, something like that. So I'm going Bucks here.
I have to be the homer, and I'm going to have to be a Texan today. So I'm jumping on Texans. You got to realize Texans have got to defend their number 4 spot. They're in a tight playoff race, especially when you got the Titans right behind you. So they need they got to hammer it down this week against the Bucks, and this is a prime opportunity. You got you're going up against a 7-7 team, and you're 9-5. This is going to be. I'm going to agree with you guys. It's going to be a shootout, but I'm picking the Texans to get the job done.
Let's see here. Next,
early in the morning.
And then the midday game, we have the Bills at the Patriots, 34 degrees in Foxborough. New England
Ooh.
favored by 6.5, over under 36.5. I'm going to go first on this one. I'm taking Bills Mafia all day because I do not think this 6.5 point line that New England is getting somehow because they're at home. I do not think that they are going to be 6.5 points better than Buffalo. I think Buffalo was dangerously close to beating them earlier in the season when they played. I understand it was in Buffalo, all that good stuff. There could be snow on the ground. Who knows what's going to happen? But in this one, I'm taking Bills. I'm taking Bills by 4. I think the Bills roll into Foxborough. They take care of business, and they cement their position in the playoffs, move to 11-4. I got Bills in this one.
I unfortunately, I'm going up against, I got, Bills or Pats. Granted, but this is going to not really necessarily alter anything in the division. They both are going to make the playoffs. So, unfortunately, I gotta be going with the Patriots. I ain't circling no wagons on this. Patriots are I'm gonna say they're gonna squeak out a victory, or they're gonna at least get be ahead by a touchdown by the end of this. It's gonna be a good game, but in that cold, it's gonna be Pat. It's gonna be the GOAT right there.
Okay, Ryan, who do you got in this one?
Oh man, I think it's gonna be close.
Musket or circle the wagons.
I can go either way. Oh man, I think this one's tough. I think the Bills might be able to do it, but it's hard playing there. It's definitely hard playing there. The weather's going to be tough.
This is why New England has been so good in the cold. They live in the cold.
But also
I want to say it would be a tie, but I mean Tom Brady doesn't do that. I think he pulls it out. I think the Patriots win.
Oh, he's got his Musket with him
in the teens.
Okay. All right, let's move on to our next game here. We got the Rams taking on the 49ers at Santa Clara. San Francisco favored by 6.5. Over under is 45.
I will take this one.
Jared Goff is on the injury report, nursing. I don't know if you guys saw the game last week, but he went to throw a ball and his hand hit the helmet of the offensive lineman in front of him. He's got an injured thumb that he's dealing with. They're listing it as a bruise, but he's been a full participant in practice and all that good stuff. So he doesn't seem to be hindered by it, but that's something to watch. But Snow, go ahead. Go first on this one.
You know what? With us, all of us Hawks here, we need to have some luck here. And I'm going to be jumping with them Rams because they need to help us Hawks up here. Give the Niners one loss. They give them that one loss and we win. The West is ours. The number one in the West is ours. So I'm jumping on the Rams. And even if Jared Goff got, is a bruise, still he rests it up. He heals it up, takes it easy this during practice and everything. Come Saturday, he should be good. And the Rams are going to be playing pissed off because they got their butts kicked against them Cowboys. So I'm picking the Rams strictly on feeling.
Okay, Ryan, who do you got in this one?
How's the Niners defenders coming back? Is anybody coming back, or is everybody still out?
I think
they're missing a lot last week.
Everyone's a game time decision except for Sherman, who they said is coming back in week 17 against the Seahawks. So depends how you feel.
I agree.
About
the Rams, they're definitely going to be pissed off. I think this will be a pretty close game.
And it's a divisional game, so you kind of want to get to
Garoppolo.
Come on, man!
I just want to take the Rams because that's what I want, But
you know where your heart is.
Will probably win. I'm gonna go with the Niners. It sucks, but that's what it is.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Rams in this one. Not I think the Niners are going to win, but I also believe that there's a possibility that the Rams are going to win because their backs are against the wall.
Mhm.
Because from this point forward for the Rams, if you lose, you're done. You're out. Like your season's over. There's no more of any of this type of
There's
stuff.
no
Like whatever.
mulligans.
Yeah, this is it. So they have to win from this point forward to keep their season alive.
Mhm. They need
So
these 2
um,
games essentially,
yeah.
but granted, they're only going to get one of them, and that's against the Niners.
Right. So here's I got the Rams on this one. Okay, let's move to the next one, and which is our game. We got the Cardinals taking on the Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 9.5. A nice 46 degrees in Seattle that day. Over under is 51 points. Cardinals coming in at 4-9-1. Seahawks are coming in at 11-3, 4-2 at home. I will start with Ryan. Ryan, go ahead. Who do you got in this one?
I mean, I'm picking us no matter what, any week. But I think it'll be closer. I mean, we play every game pretty close. We got to get to little Kyler and try and not let him run all over the place. But I'm excited to watch him ball out, though. He's a fun dude to watch. I'm excited to watch him and Russ shake hands at the end of the game. Russ pats him on the head, says sorry for the loss. See you next year.
Okay, yeah. So I won't say that I'm Hey Ryan, you're getting some love on the show right here. Look at this. Let me put
Oh,
this
yeah.
comment up here.
Hey, it's
Oh,
my old wife.
The wife is
Ooh.
your old wife. Well, my current wife is showing some love towards Ryan over here. Snowman, I know you don't know this, but I'm telling you right now. When I was in Seattle last time, me, my now wife, and Ryan, we were all roommates. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, so over there bumming it on Casino Road. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, so yeah, they have a good relationship. Yeah, she for sure loves Ryan. Anyway, yeah,
pick.
dude, Seahawks on this one, right? So
Mhm.
Seahawks, yeah, look, my wife is jumping on here. She's saying brother husband. It's her brother / husband. I had given permission to her that if I were to die and that Ryan's current wife were to die crazy in a car accident, that they would have to marry each other. It's just the rules. It's the way things got to go down. Anyway, so Seahawks in this one. Seahawks biggest win of the season. I wouldn't say biggest. I just mean like from a score perspective, biggest gap was against the Cardinals. I believe it was a 10-point victory last time we played, but the game was over at like halftime. Like it wasn't close. They really weren't competitive with us. Yeah, it wasn't. I know the game wasn't close. We'd shut it down.
Yeah, it was.
I think
it was 27-24. Our last
the
meeting.
first game. They must have scored late or something because I remember the game like not even being close.
Well,
it was just like that Carolina game where they come back, man.
Huh?
We're good at
that. It was their last meeting. I want to say the last meeting at home was 27-24. We won. But
right. Okay.
So,
well, either way, not a big deal.
I'm guessing the both of you are going Hawks.
Yeah, well, I mean, like at this point, the Cardinals have given up, right? They're jockeying for their draft position. They know they're not making the playoffs. They know that they're not in the division, in the division picture or the NFC playoff picture. So they're just doing what they can, letting Kyler Murray kind of do the backyard football type of thing. And it is what it is at this point. And so, yeah, getting that position.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't even need to say it because I will be there live and in person. I will be at that game this coming Sunday in the cold, repping Seahawks and repping Russell the Magician Wilson as we head on down the road in playoff format. So, of course, Seahawks all around, baby.
Okay, so next game we got Jaguars at Falcons. 50 degrees. Not that that matters because they play in a dome. Atlanta 7-point favorites. Over under 46.5. Snowman, go ahead, jump on this one. Who do you got?
As much as I love the Falcons for what they did and Matty Ice for giving the Niners that loss this week and helping us, unfortunately, I still gotta roll with the Minshew. I'm going Jags, baby.
Okay, Ryan, who do you got on this one?
I got Atlanta. I like Minshew and all, but I mean,
It's Minshew
I don't think
mania.
they're going to be able to handle that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't think Jacksonville has any answer for Julio Jones or what's the other kid's name? Calvin Ridley,
Ridley.
or Freeman
Russell
or
Gage.
anybody.
Yeah. I just don't think there's any way that Jacksonville wins that game. But if they find themselves in a position to win, if you give Minshew the ball with about 2:30 left and you're down by 4, I think Minshew gets you a touchdown. But
the same can be said about Matty Ice.
Going to be over before that. I don't know about all
that.
that.
The same thing can be said about Matty Ice. I mean, he can deliver when the chips are down. That's why he's got ice in the veins. But this is a 5-9 matchup, so it's a real don't care for anyone. There are no playoff implications.
Right. So the next matchup I have here is I have Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens and his 12 or 13 Pro Bowlers, however many made it, traveling to Cleveland to avenge one of their 2 losses, to take on the Browns, who are sitting at 6-8. Baltimore's favored by 10. The over-under is 47.5. And I'm just going to say here, there is no way in hell that Baltimore is dropping this game to Cleveland. And if they do, I will do, oh my God, I don't even know what. But
we even got to talk about this one and make picks?
I think we all know the pick order for this and what we're picking. But yeah, it was 12 Pro Bowl selections for them Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
Good God. That is a lot. I will give them that. They've earned it. But I think we all can safely say Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore's going on that one. Okay, I'll just move on to the next game because everyone's got
we don't need to talk about them Cleveland Browns, them overhyped and under, never going to make it team. Move on.
Snow, I want you to take this one to start because this game is very interesting to me. Sunday at noon my time, which is like 10 your time. You got the Saints traveling to Tennessee, 57 degrees outside, to take on the Titans. New Orleans favored by 3. The over-under is 50.5. And this game is very interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be very interesting. Playoff implications for these teams. The Saints are still trying to fight for that number 1 seed. Titans are still scratching and clawing to get in that AFC. Literally, they're tied with the Texans in the South for that final wild card or for that number 4 spot to get in. So this is just going to be a dogfight. I hope that it lives up to the hype, but unfortunately for them Titans, I gotta go with I gotta get me some jambalaya down there because I'm going Saints. I'm having a party with them. My pick's the Saints.
Oof. How's Derrick Henry? Is he healthy for this game? I think I saw something about him not being 100%.
Let me see.
Because that's the big change for me. Because he can blow up and have a huge game.
What? Shoot. My phone's not letting me do anything. So who again?
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
My Flex Mike would know that off the top of his head.
Yeah, Is that Mama Snow right there? First of all,
Yes, it is Mama Snow. She's in
what's
the
up, Mama
house.
Snow? Yeah, I think Derrick Henry's healthy. I haven't
Okay.
seen anything that is like saying that he wouldn't play, but I'm playing against him in my fantasy championship, so I hope that he's not healthy.
You're right. Yeah.
But go ahead,
well,
Ryan. Who do you got in this one?
Oh, I'm gonna go Titans. I think Big Boy running if he's healthy. I think he'll have 2.5 touchdowns. Sorry about your championship game. 2-3 touchdowns somewhere in there. Be all right.
That's gonna suck for Flex Mike. Trying to
He'll be
survive
all right.
championship, trying to survive championship season. So that leaves you, Mike. Who you got?
That is not going to suck for me because I don't think that he's going to have 2.5 touchdowns. I'm predicting that he has 1, and that's it, and about
He's
50
gonna have
yards.
2 or 3. You got it.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know, dude. The Saints are playing good on both sides of the ball, so we'll see what happens. And
Who's your pick?
oh man. Okay, so Snow, you went New Orleans, and Ryan went what? Did he go Tennessee?
Yep.
Yeah, we're split right
Tennessee.
now. We got a Saint and a Titan. What are
I'm
you
gonna
picking?
I'm gonna go New Orleans because I think New Orleans is gonna try and take care of business and just basically say do what we can to see if we can get ourselves into the right NFC playoff picture in case the right teams lose and they could wiggle their way into a 1 or 2 seed. That's what they're looking for, and so yeah, I got New Orleans in that one. I think it'll be pretty close, but yeah, New Orleans there, and then next we're gonna go to let's see here. We got
How about we go to this next one? We head on down the bay and go to a matchup. The final one, or actually one of the final ones for the Raiders and against the Chargers, as they are part of the California squad.
Oof.
Listen, Snow. Time
What a
out.
shit show of a game.
Snow. I see what you're doing right here. Okay, you're trying to kiss Mama Snow's ass right now.
Oh.
I don't have to.
Hey, I didn't raise a stupid kid.
I don't have to. Remember, I still got my Raider jersey hanging up.
Yeah, I know you do, but check this out. What do you really think's gonna happen in that game, Snow? Because listen, I'm not in smacking distance from Mama Snow, so I can say whatever the hell I want.
You can say
I'm a-
whatever you
I'm a-
want, but I remember
I'm a
all this.
good 3. Yeah, I'll just make sure that I never come on that side of town next time I'm over there. So,
I'm
So
actually
in other words, you're picking the Chargers.
no, I would never pick anything led by Phillip Rivers. I got Raiders for this one. I'll go. Yeah,
Silver or silver and black? Look at you.
yeah. I mean, I'm actually not a hater. I got Josh Jacobs on my fantasy team. I'm gonna need that. So he needs to get his life together and fix that shoulder or whatever he's got going on. And
I don't think he's playing.
well, he played last week.
I thought I think my fantasy.
You think you're what? You're.
let me double check on raids.
I'll tell you right now because Josh Jacobs, dude, I'm telling you, I didn't play him last week because he was coming off an injury and I didn't necessarily need him. But Josh Jacobs last week, I think he had about 75 yards or so.
Jacobs is going to be held out of week 16.
Oh, dang.
Yep.
Look at
The
him. He
Chargers
is out now. Okay.
due to his lingering shoulder injury.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he will be
That's
out.
a game changer right there.
It might be a little bit. We'll see. I still got a pretty good lineup, so I'm not that worried about it. But yeah, I think that that Darren Waller kid that they got is unstoppable. I mean, that Waller kid that got at tight end is a monster, dude. And he has, I don't know if you watched Hard Knocks at all, but he's got an incredible story about how he was abusing alcohol and prescription drugs and marijuana and everything under the sun pretty much, and threw his NFL career away, and then was able to bounce back with the Raiders. And he's had a heck of a season. And so I'm looking for him. I mean, for me, I'm out on Derek Carr. I don't know what anybody else thinks about Derek Carr. I'm completely out on him. He just needs to let his contract go, and then John Gruden and the Raiders should go after somebody else in the draft. But
No, Cam Newton. That's what they're doing.
yeah, Cam Newton's coming to Vegas or what?
Yep,
Hell no, no.
Gross.
that is happening.
Gross.
Well,
That
I don't
sucks
even
to
have to
suck.
say who I'm going for because I'm not picking Phillip Rivers and then
Yeah.
Chargers. It's black and silver. It's
What?
Raid Nation.
Well, that's because Mama Snow's elbow to elbow with you right now. You might catch one. You might catch one of those Jericho Judas elbows real quick.
The Judas effect. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
What
even,
did I say? That I threaten him?
Yes, I am saying that. That is exactly what I'm saying.
He's only been beaten a couple of times.
Yeah, just a couple. Just
Yeah.
enough to learn his lesson, right?
Exactly. He knows not to push long.
Okay, yeah. It doesn't matter if a dude is 12 years old, 22 years old, or 102 years old. A boy is always afraid of his mom. It doesn't matter how old he is. Yeah. So it is what it is. But I'll tell you this, no BS. I honestly do think that the Raiders are going to win. I think they find a way to win that game. And
they
they got a
somehow-
lot of
they're still 2 games back in the wild card, so it's going to be a very interesting 2 weeks against the Bolts and then to go on the road to Denver. So
Well, I think both of those teams are hot garbage, and and if the Raiders are in a
True.
position where their backs are against the wall, they're going to be trying that much harder. So that just is more ammunition in what I'm saying. Is I think the Raiders win that game.
yeah,
So Snow, I'm right there with you with Oakland taking that one, and
I'll be the
Ryan,
odd
who do you
man out
got?
on this one. Let's go. Phillip Rivers throws 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but still wins the game.
Oh wow, okay.
Sorry.
you
It's gonna be
don't
ugly
shame
though.
him.
For shame. For shame.
Okay, he's
We
got
got 2
Chargers
seconds.
on that one.
There, Mama.
Raiders.
Okay, so
Just saying.
So there we had, ladies and gentlemen. We just had the intervention of Mama Snow and Raid Nation.
okay, so let's
comic relief.
move on. Let's move on to our next game. We got the Carolina Panthers taking on the Colts in a dome. Indy's favored by 7, over unders 46. Panthers 5-9, Colts 6-8. They're both basically eliminated from the playoffs, although mathematically I don't know. But Ryan, go ahead and take that one to start out.
I'm gonna go Carolina. I think Christian McCaffrey comes out, has a good game. I mean, I don't think either team will really have a good game, but I think he'll have a good game. So that's what I'll go with. I don't really even care about this game.
So
Snow, go ahead. You're up next.
So yeah, unfortunately, again, this is a matchup of teams who are not making the playoffs. They're mathematically eliminated. I'm actually going to go Colts on this one. Just to haven't been a Carolina fan at all, so let's just roll on and put on a horseshoe. We're Colt.
Yeah, I'm Colts on this one also. I just don't think that I don't think that Carolina's very good outside of McCaffrey. I think that the league has kind of figured out Kyle Allen a little bit and figured out his style. So, we're all Indy on this one. So let's go ahead and jot that down. Ryan, in case you're new to the program, the reason that I keep track of everything is so if someone comes up with some BS, I got it all on record. Okay.
Show him the book. Show him the book.
The book is right here. Okay. You see this book?
It's
right
the book
here.
of Mike.
This is the book of me. Okay. I'm undefeated. No one has beat me all season. as far as picking games. Okay. I've gotten some wrong, but I've gotten less wrong than anybody else who has ever been on this show. Okay. So we all got Indy on that one. That's fine. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is our dumpster fire match of the week. We got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Bengals at 1-13, Dolphins at 3-11. Miami is favored by 1 single point. Over under 46.5. I'm going to go first on this one. Dolphins taking the dub on this one all freaking day. Dolphins by 4.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do any, in-depth looking at this. It's just this is a dumpster fire. We all know this. It's the worst teams of the worst. So I'm rolling with the Fish Boys. Give me the Dolphins.
I'll be the odd man out on this. I'll take their second win of the season for the Bengals for no reason at all.
All right. Straight to the point. Boom.
Yeah, no real reason on that one. Okay, next matchup. We got Pittsburgh traveling to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the Jets. Pittsburgh favored by 3, over under 37.5. Snowman, you're up.
A lot of things gotta go right, or gotta go right for the Steelers to keep their spot. Jets are out, so unfortunately, it's gonna be a tough one. Steelers need to keep the momentum going for playoffs if they want to stay in. Yeah, just for the sake of it, give me the Jets.
Ugh. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. Defense looks good. Got James Conner back. I think Juju's still out, but let's go Pittsburgh. I think they'll win it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I am right there with you, Ryan. I'm on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's in a good position to try and wiggle their way into the playoffs. This is easily the best coaching job of the season by any team. That Mike Tomlin is down to like his 4th or 5th string quarterback, scrub, no names. He's got a dude with a nickname of Duck that's his quarterback. Okay. So
Steel City's enjoying some DuckTales right now.
yeah, dude.
Ooh-wee-oo.
Pittsburgh has lost. They have lost Le'Veon Bell, went to a different team. They lost Antonio Brown, went to a different team.
Let's just get this. Let's get the facts straight on this. Antonio Brown, literally, he shanked his career on this one, leaving Pittsburgh and then going to Oakland, shanking himself again, going to New England, and then poof.
And then coming to Seattle and winning a Super Bowl.
No,
wait, what?
I mean,
no.
you can say whatever you want about Antonio Brown, but the facts are this: when Antonio Brown is on the football field, he's a monster, and he's the top 5 receiver in the NFL. And that's not debatable. He is unstoppable. His route running is unmatched. He is uncoverable as a receiver there is in the NFL. His hands are great. They don't call him Tony Toe Tap for no reason. He is a great NFL receiver. The problem is he can't get his off the field stuff straight, right? And so that's his problem, and it is what it is at this point, and he's not on the team for a reason, and he deserves to not be on a team. But here's the thing. The Pittsburgh Steelers have lost Le'Veon Bell. They have lost Antonio Brown. They have James Conner. James Conner comes out playing a pretty good season. James Conner gets hurt. He's out. Ben Roethlisberger breaks his elbow against Seattle, whatever, out for the season, right? Has surgery, out for the season. Then in comes Mason Rudolph, who looks pretty good. Gets jacked up a couple good times. Myles Garrett tries to forcefully fit his helmet on top of Mason Rudolph's head. Doesn't
the wrong
work.
way.
Yes, does not work. Ends up pretty much. I mean, if I got hit with a helmet like that, I'd be out for a lifetime, let alone just a few games. It is what it is. Mike Tomlin has recovered and is doing great things with this team. TJ Watt on Pittsburgh's defense is as unblockable as anyone in the NFL. He is unstoppable. He rushes the passer as good as anyone in the NFL, and they just look good from. I wouldn't say good because they're in a wild card situation, but they look like they are in a position to be one of those sneaky wild card teams, and that is the whole reason why I take Pittsburgh in this game.
They're going to need it because they're against the Jets. If they win this, they need it because they are playing next week the dangerous Ravens next week to end the season, the regular season. So they need the win, unfortunately. But of course, I'm going against them.
Okay, so this next game is our second dumpster fire matchup of the week. Is you have the New York Giants traveling to the DC area to take on the Washington Redskins. Ryan, go ahead and take this one to start out. Let me see here. Let me get this line for you here. Line is Redskins favored by 2.5, over under 42.
I don't like anything about this game.
No one does. The last meeting, December 9th of last year that they met, Giants 40, Redskins 16.
Oof. That's bad.
Yeah. But of
I'm
course,
gonna take the Giants. I think Saquon will have a big game. That's about it. It's the only highlight I have.
Okay. Okay. So you're gonna go New York. I'll put that down. I am. Oh man, this one's tough. Actually, it's not tough. I lied. I'm gonna go New York Giants on this one. Also, the only reason I say that it's like somewhat tough is because sometimes the Redskins defense shows up and they look like really good, and you're like, man, where's this team been? You know. But then there's other times where they show up and you're like, oh, it makes sense. You should be like a Division II college team. You look terrible, you know.
D3.
Yeah, D3, yeah, whatever. But yeah, there's times where they just look really bad, and there's times where they look really good. Once again, one of those teams that's very bipolar. And in this situation, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Giants in this one.
My turn. Redskins or Giants? If this was Schindler's List, it would have been a much harder decision. I'm taking Giants. I ain't picking the Skins.
Yeah, just the only thing that really scares you about the Skins is that if you look at the rookie receiver, Terry McLaurin, he's got 51 catches, 833 yards, and 7 touchdowns on the season. So for a rookie, those are very good numbers. I mean, he's still not as good as DK Metcalf, but, you know, not a bad second. Okay, that was our second dumpster fire matchup of the week. And now we're moving on to our third and final dumpster matchup of the week, which is the Detroit Lions taking on the Broncos. Denver's favored by 7, over under is 38.5. Broncos, well, maybe not the Broncos, but the Lions at least look like they've just completely given up. They're sitting there at 3-10-1. Snowman, go ahead, start us off with this one.
Give me the Broncos.
Okay.
Simple to the point. The cardiac cats.
I'm with you on this one.
Have officially had their heart attack and they're done for the season. There's no life support for that cat. Sorry.
Yeah, it's across the board here. We're all going Denver. There is reasons to be somewhat optimistic with Drew Lock coming in. He looked halfway decent. That you might have something there at quarterback. We don't really know yet, but still something cool to see. You still got Phillip Lindsay. You still got Royce Freeman. You know, there's some stuff there to be optimistic about with Denver where you could justify taking the win. And I just think that the Lions have mailed it in so hard at this point that it's like, man, if the Broncos find a way to lose this game, they're really trying to lose it, you know?
Yeah. Detroit's just like, all right, we're just trying to get through the season. Let's just get to the draft and let's get someone good and hope we can get someone good, should I say.
Right. Okay.
So,
So we went over Raiders and Chargers. Now there's 3 games left. Okay, we got 3 games left. We got Cowboys at Eagles, both 7-7.
this is the fight of this is the game I want. This is going to be the afternoon game of the week right here.
There's 2 games of the week. There's this game of the week. This is one of them.
Yeah, this is one of them. This is going to be the afternoon game of the week, and then we got the Sunday night and then the Monday night game. But this one is going to basically decide the worst division in the NFC right here. This is for that lovely NFC East, the dumpster fire we know and love up here, that NFC East. And this is going to be fun. I want to hear these picks because I want to hear what y'all thinking. So who wants to take this first pick?
Well, let me just say that in Philadelphia, outside 46 degrees, Dallas is favored by 2.5 over under 46. Like I had mentioned earlier, Dak is kind of nursing that injured shoulder a little bit. The Eagles are getting back a healthy Alshon Jeffrey. They got their 2 running backs. They got Miles Sanders and that other kid. I can't remember his name, but he showed up out of nowhere last week. And so we'll see what happens. I know the first we talked about it earlier. The first Eagles Cowboys matchup, the Cowboys absolutely demolished the Eagles. What'd you say, Snow? 34-10 or something like that. It was a blowout. It was not even competitive. They handled business.
Yeah, they did.
We'll see what happens. The Phillies getting back Lane Johnson, I believe is his name, one of their best offensive linemen. So there's reason for optimism there. I think that the Eagles and the Cowboys both realize that it's all or nothing right now. And so Philly has to win this week, and they
Dallas
have to win. If Dallas wins this week, they wrap up the division. It's over. If Philly wins this week, it's still not over. They have to win this week and next week. But they play the Giants next week, so you might think that they could. It's pretty much over.
They both have teams that they can beat next week. Dallas has the Redskins and Philly has the Giants. So this is going to be the game that everyone looks to see, okay, who's going to rep the East right here? Because we both know that everyone knows that the Giants and the Redskins are going to fall to these guys.
Okay, I want to start with Ryan on this one because I always like to hear, I'm here, right? Like I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I hear a lot of like the homers and all that stuff talking on the radio constantly. Like 2 weeks ago, the world was burning. Everything was falling down. But next thing you know,
your coach and
they beat the Rams and they got a new kicker. So now they think that I was seeing I was seeing stuff on Facebook talking about, oh my gosh, Dak should be in the MVP conversation, and our kicker's great, and if San Francisco comes to town, we're gonna blow them out. All this type of stuff, and this is what I have to say about all of that. The reason Dak Prescott's not in the MVP conversation is because if Dak was in the MVP conversation, or was a legitimate MVP candidate, then the Dallas Cowboys.
Lamar and Russell would have been hurt in week 1 or something.
Well, I'm not just saying that. I'm saying that to be in the conversation, the Cowboys cannot be 7-7 and think that anyone on your team is an MVP candidate. It just doesn't happen that way. Like we've said for years, if you took Russell Wilson off of the Seahawks, they would be significantly worse. You would go from an 11-3 team to like a 4-12 team. Like the gap is huge, right?
The Seahawks would be in so much trouble if Russell Wilson was not there.
I mean,
there would be no Super Bowl ring right there. There would be no the 2 NFC miracle or championship miracles at the Clink. So without Russell, the Seahawks would be near the bottom all those years, and Pete Carroll would not be here at the moment.
Yeah,
he would
you're
not
one.
be, he would not be at the helm of the Seahawks without Russell Wilson with him.
You're
Unfortunately,
right. I was listening to something earlier, and they were like, I think it was Colin Coward, and he was talking about how good Russell Wilson is and how important he is to the franchise. And he's like, you have to remember that Pete Carroll without Russell Wilson went 7-9 with Charlie Whitehurst and Matt Hasselbeck. So,
hey, we still made the playoffs on that 7-9.
at
still made
7-9. Yeah, but he was talking about the thing that propelled Seattle, the Seahawks, to a top heavy hitter in the NFC is Russell Wilson, and he's absolutely right. Russell Wilson,
He's like the only analyst that gets it.
yeah, Russell Wilson has never received a single MVP vote, even when he took the NFL's worst offensive line to the playoffs, right? Didn't receive one MVP vote that year, which is fine. I don't give a crap about the MVP. I care about you winning games. That's all I care about.
We care about Super Bowl rings. We care about the Lombardi Trophy. We don't care.
Yeah.
MVP is nice. It's a good accomplishment. Good job. But it's a team sport.
Yeah, it's like going to the Pro Bowl. Like, it's cool, but at the end of the day, it's just a collection.
Who cares?
It's a collection of dudes who didn't go to the Super Bowl. That's what it is.
It's the best of the teams who didn't make the Super Bowl. Right there.
Yeah. Okay, so Ryan, go ahead. Who do you got in this Dallas-Philly game?
It's pretty tough. Dallas is pretty inconsistent. I don't think they can string wins together very well. Has Philly won their last two? Come back, fourth win, and they're getting healthy. I'll take Philly on this. Just
Philly.
It's kind of a coin flip for me, but I think they can pull it out.
Okay, Snow, what about you?
Yeah, this again, like we said, this is going to be the tough matchup to pick because these are two teams that need the win. This is going to be who's going to represent the East in the NFC and who's going to be in the wild card. Guaranteed. This is a wild card matchup right here. And they're going to be on the road no matter what. So
what do you mean? Who's going to be on the road?
The winner the NFC East winner is going to be
No, they get home.
No. They're a division winner.
I'm saying after, if they make it through wild card, they're going to be on the road after this. But
they'll be on the road no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, this is just
on the road home because they ain't going to win.
Yeah. Again. But the NFC East. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, the like he's saying, the NFC East winner, if you make it through the first round, which I find is specifically through the NFC side of things, if you make it through that first round, that wild card round, I'll be shocked because the NFC is going to send you either Minnesota or most likely or San Francisco,
Yeah.
That's because San Francisco is going to be a wild card team, assuming Seattle wins the division, which I'm kind of banking on at this point.
Oh,
so
we're all banking it, but again, this is going to be it's more like going to be who do you not want to see in the playoffs between these two, the Eagles or the Cowboys. I know a lot of teams are saying we don't want to see the Cowboys in it because we hate the Cowboys, but a lot of teams are going to say we want the Cowboys because they suck. This is a team that has been, they suck. But picking this matchup, I unfortunately, Cowboy Cam, you're going to love me. I'm going with them boys. Give me a cowboy hat. I'll jump with them boys for this game.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go Philly, and Cam's going to be really annoyed with me. And the reason I'm going with Philly is because I watched the last game that Philly played. Granted, they were playing Washington, whatever, but there seemed to be a point where it looked like some things started clicking offensively. And I don't know if that was just because they were playing the Redskins or what it was, but I'm going to go Philly on this one just because I want to keep it interesting / I want to troll all the Cowboys fans who will watch or listen to this show.
True.
And so I'm gonna go Philly on this one. I think the game is close. I think that I don't care what the Cowboys say about their team or what Philly says about their team. They both suck. They're both not good.
Yeah.
They both can't play defense. Dallas is good at offense. Obviously, I think they're at one time they were the number one offense in the NFL. They are capable of that. But I think there's a lot of things that play into it. Jason Garrett's job security plays into it. Ezekiel Elliott being good one week and being lazy the next week plays into it.
Or even
the
getting
injuries
the ball.
that Philly, if the injuries that Philly has, I mean, they are like a practice squad team at this point. They have so many injuries, it's ridiculous. But yeah, this is what I've kind of been hoping for like the last 6 weeks. Is I wanted the NFC East Championship to come down to this game, and I'm glad that it's finally happening, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
So
we'll
see what happens.
You got your Christmas present right there. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, I just
from
wanted
the
to see
NFL
it be
gods.
like competitive, right? So yeah, so that's where we are. We got I'm taking
more
Philly,
games.
Ryan's taking Philly, and Snow's taking Dallas. Okay, let's go
we
here
will pick,
to.
and of course we'll pick this back up next week with we'll see who's going to represent the East, and with granted we still got 1 week left, but it's going to be an interesting 2 weeks.
Yeah, so our next game is Chiefs at Bears. Let's see here. I'm trying to get my screen here to load.
Bears are home. Bears are home.
Yeah,
for this game.
Chiefs at Bears. Chiefs favored by 6 over under 44. I'm really hoping that the Bears can play some tight defense because I'm playing against Tyreek Hill in fantasy, and I'm hoping maybe he can bottle them up or something. I don't even know. I don't even know if that's a possibility, but I'm wanting. I don't know, man. I don't think there's any way that the Bears win this game. The Chiefs are trying to lobby for their playoff seeding in the AFC. I'm taking the Chiefs on this one.
Yeah, same here. Chiefs, they're playing for their third spot, their number 3 spot, and have home field for that wild card, and then hope that they get the good draw. And granted, Bears aren't playing for anything. They were eliminated this past week. So unfortunately, I'm going. Hey, oh, give me them Chiefs.
Okay, Ryan, who do you got?
What's the weather?
The weather is 45 degrees. It says it's going to be sunny, partly cloudy. Yeah.
Well, it is the Sunday night game, so.
Yeah, it's Sunday Night Football. So
I'm gonna be the odd man out again. I'll go with the Bears. I think it'll be pretty close. I mean, they held on pretty good against Green Bay last week, but that's always a close game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they can pull it out.
Play some spoiler for the Chiefs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to
Monday Night Football.
Monday night, 2 days before Christmas, we got Green Bay traveling to Minnesota to take on Minnesota Vikings. 5.5 point
favorites. Rivalry right there. Classic rivalry.
Indoor weather doesn't matter. 46 point over under. We got Snow. Go ahead on this one. You got Green Bay, Minnesota. Who do you got in this one?
This is going to be a fun rivalry. I mean, it's always been a fun rivalry game between these two, the Packs and the Purple Man Eaters right here. Inside that beautiful new stadium. And this is basically fighting for seeding right now. With the Vikings holding that number 6 spot. So they will be traveling to Saints right now. And the Vikings, if I remember, got it right. Yeah, Vikings are in, and then Green Bay is holding that number 2 spot. So they're playing to retain. Actually, yeah, this is going to decide the number 2 and number 6 because Vikings are 1 game back from Packers right now. So this is going to be a good fight matchup on Monday night. And for some reason, I'm going to pick the Vikings. Give me them purple man eaters right here.
Okay, I am not there with you.
In a dog fight. This is going to be a dog fight.
I'm gonna go with Green Bay on this one. I think Green Bay takes care of business, locks up their NFC playoff position. I think that Minnesota will not win this game. They need to try and win to stay alive and keep their position in the wild card.
Now, granted, they will be playing the Bears next week for the Vikings, while Packers next week will be playing the Detroit Lions at Detroit. So Packers are on the road the next 2 games. Vikings are home next 2.
Yeah,
So,
I just don't see a world where Minnesota wins this game. I think it's too important to Green Bay. I think Green Bay takes care of business here. What about you, Ryan?
this is going to be a nice
I'm gonna go
Christmas
Minnesota.
present. Ooh.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers has a good game.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think they'll stop Aaron Jones a little bit. It'll be close, but I think Minnesota takes it.
Okay. So
this will be a nice Christmas present to the football fans before we sit down with our families and enjoy some time with our families and open up some lovely Christmas gifts.
right. So okay. Well, that does it for our picks for the week. I will keep everyone updated on that. Once again, if you want to follow us on Twitter, at Rhino_425 on Twitter. Snowman is at AJS Dead Snow. Hey, Snowman, you know I don't need that. I'm a robot at this point, okay? At AJS Dead Snow on Twitter. You can find Snow there. At FlexMike11 on Twitter is for myself. And always you can find us at Flex Network 1 on Twitter. Snow, if you can pop that up there. There we go.
I love this new tool we got.
Yeah, we got our little ticker down here. And then also Snow is running our wrestling Twitter and running our wrestling shows. If you want to follow him there, it's at FlexNet_PW Elite, which is Flex Network Twitter devoted specifically to wrestling. We get everything there. Follow us on all the podcasting platforms, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere else, iHeartRadio, wherever you find your podcast, we're on there. And if we're not on there, send us a DM and we'll get on there.
And then before we head, I know we're getting through our lovely outro spiel, but we want to say to everyone out there, because next week is Christmas. I mean, we may try to get a quick show in for you guys, but to cover week 17, the final regular season. But we want to say Merry Christmas to everybody out there in Flex Nation, Flex Army, and a happy holidays for everyone else. If you don't celebrate Christmas, but just happy holidays to everybody. Have safe travels wherever you're going, and well wishes, everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Merry Christmas to everyone. And we may or may not try and do a show next Wednesday night. Not quite sure on that yet, but we'll obviously
work out the details.
We'll obviously keep you posted and you will know. But as for Ryan, Snowman, and myself, we will catch you guys later.